Good morning everyone, it's great to be here. Can I also acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we are here today, the Wadawurrung people, and pay my deepest respects to their elders, both past, present and future. So we are actually here to celebrate and acknowledge the fine work that everyone is doing, but particularly to honour the work that the young women have been doing in their apprenticeships. And so why do we do this? We do it because of the stats. Yes, we have had some improvement, but in electrical we've still got 2% of women. That, in anyone's language, is not equality. That is not the right thing. And so this government, the Andrews Labor government, does absolutely understand that if you can't see it, you can't be it. And that's why it's really important to actually promote women in these areas where, in traditional trade in particular, women's representation is not where it needs to be. And so that's why we have put a significant amount of money aside in the Apprenticeship Innovation Fund. And a lot of the money in that fund is actually directed at improving women's participation in the workforce and in particular in non-traditional trades. It's not just about numbers, it's about changing the culture and the nature of the industries in which women need to be more visual and more involved in. At some point in my life, I would love to know that when it comes to traditional trades, gender is no longer an issue because we've achieved equality. That would be my dream. The Women in Trades Multi-Industry Pre-Apprenticeship Support Project, the one that AEN's involved in, Apprenticeships Victoria, and the wider Victorian government, is a fantastic project. So can I say that I am pleased with what we're doing. We've got a lot more that needs to be done. We've been talking about this for a long, long time. There's been stops and starts, but I think if we can build the momentum and get that critical mass that we need of younger women and older women on our construction sites and in our workplaces, then I think we will make a valuable contribution of making sure that we've got a Victorian state that is much fairer and much more equitable, and much more diverse, and of course enables everyone to be engaged and contribute.
Oh, I just love the gardens. Like, I was always out in the gardens at home. It's good for the soul.
I did a tertiary taster in high school and they had like carpentry, mechanic, engineering. I really liked the carpentry one, so I did my pre-apprenticeship and then really enjoyed like the smaller projects, so I decided to do joinery.
Something I kind of realised over time, and then I started watching car racing and I was like, oh, cars, I like cars.
Parks Gardens became available and that was really appealing to me, and I thought that would be a really great way to start.
Yeah, when I started I just kind of fit in and it felt right.
Oh gosh, there's so much.
Making the cupboards, so checking that all the measurements are correct.
Spraying weeds, brush cutting, edging, blowing.
Every day is different, so it all really changes depending on the weather, depending on the season.
Planting, pruning, hedging, all sorts. Like, it's a massive variety.
I pretty much, rock up in the morning, get to the shed, I organise everything. I'm a massive neat freak, so I like to clean everything. And
I like the people there. We'll all work as a team and it's really great to grab like other skills from the other qualifieds and see how different ways are done.
Well, the cars is the obvious thing. Like, I love the people I work with.
Just being outside, being able to breathe fresh air.
to be honest, the people, that's what makes you feel included, and that's definitely what helps me.
Oh, it's easy. The satisfaction. When the car finally leaves my hoist and it's perfect as it should be, that satisfaction of like I did it, I fixed it.
I enjoy installing. It's more that takes more skill than knocking up the cupboards.
I actually really enjoy the maintenance side.
My girlfriends message me and say, I'm thinking of going into a trade, I'm thinking about Sparky because I've seen what you've done and what you've achieved, and that's what kind of warms my heart the most.
In a good way, it's brought a lot of work, but then bad way, you can't get the materials and hardware to finish it off.
Definitely, it was hard. I think for everyone, it was really confusing and everything was very up in the air.
Probably affected us in the sense that, we had to work while others couldn't.
It's affected obviously the training, not being able to go into school, not being able to ask questions. That was definitely challenging. But in saying that, it also kind of helped bring everyone closer together.
I don't really see much. I haven't experienced anything like sexist or anything like that.
You don't see gender when you work with them. They're just, they're there to teach you, to help you.
A lot of people ask me if I need a lift, like hand lifting something, but I think that's just me being small. Stronger than I look.
Well, at first I think when you walk in as a woman, you're like, oh, I don't belong here. But after a while, you kind of get used to each other. Like, no, I can be here. Like, I'm just as good, I'm just as valuable, just as worthy.
To be completely honest, the toilets are horrific all the time.
Working in a male-dominated industry, it's hard to not always be the strongest and kind of accept that. But you also have to accept the fact that your role is still very important, and I want to be the smartest in the team.
The support from my family and friends.
I'm a very driven person, so if I committed to it, I want to finish it.
Definitely support of older people in the industry.
Asking questions a lot. People say you can never ask too many questions. But not only that, but my own perseverance.
I still think there's a bit of a stigma.
A little bit more coverage to show that we're just as equal and just as important.
And the intricate work that women tend to have more focus on.
Well, I hope to stay in the parks and gardens field because it's something that I really enjoy. Maybe move on to council work.
Continue working where I am.
I'm quite an ambitious person. I was looking at all these people in charge and I'm like, I can do this. I could run a dealership, I could run a workshop.
I want to study more. So after this, I'd like to do land management and conservation.
I would love to get my own apprentice one day and pass on my wisdom and knowledge.
Just don't think twice if it's something that you want to do.
You just need the confidence and the resilience to keep on showing up.
Go for it. Just do it.